What do you do with the managed care stocks here? This is a group that was red hot in April because healthcare is as recession resistant as it gets. Plus, COVID-19 meant that people put off all sorts of non-urgent medical procedures, which meant the managed care companies didn't have to pay out those claims. Of course, now that the economy is reopening again, we'll probably see some pent-up demand for all those shelved doctor's appointments. And that's why the group's cooled off in the past couple of months. But after yesterday's beatdown, the slowdown stocks may be back in style, which brings me to Centene CNC, the managed care company that specializes in government-sponsored health plans. These guys held a virtual investor day today where management raised the full-year earnings forecast substantially and sent the stock up 2.8%. Can it keep climbing? Let's take a closer look with Michael Neidorff. He's the indomitable chairman and CEO of Centene to get a better sense of how his company's doing, where it's headed. Mr. Neidorff, welcome back to Mad Money.
Mr. Cramer, how are you, sir?
Well, I am doing well, and these kinds of questions now have great meaning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, just working to stay safe, keep all our employees safe, and
well, and
it's
also
all good.
And also delivering numbers. You increased guidance once again. It looks like that some people I know are confused. They're saying, how could he increase guidance in a recession? But the answer is that Centene is not necessarily levered to economic activity, is it?
No, we kind of march to our drum. We have told people you make your decisions based on the facts as they are today. When we announced the $4 billion incremental revenue, everybody was concerned there was no increase in guidance, but it was not yet clear what that margin would be. Now we know it's more normalized.
Well, also, I think that there are things that throw people for a loop who don't normally follow you. Like this quote from your analyst day today, consistent with inpatient, we have seen a dramatic decrease in ER claims, decreasing over 46% in April. Well, that is a very meaningful number for you guys.
Sure. The ERs were really not used like they normally are. And unfortunately, we try to assign recipients to primary care doctors, and we do a pretty good job. But there's a lot of them that still use the emergency room as their primary care physician. And of course, during this current environment, that's not happening. We'll see it start to come back.
And also that you're seeing a reduction in utilization medical costs. So, I mean, it's natural to presume that there are good numbers coming. Even as, again, I mean, you raised guidance, but you're your usual cautious self.
Yeah, but what we have to be careful of, we've said that we will have 68% of our income, of our earnings, in the first half of the year. We're starting to see, while we will have a stronger than normal, stronger than we should, second quarter because of the underutilization, that will start to come back, and it's starting to come back now. So we'll see a higher than expected third and fourth quarter, and it will probably have momentum into next year. So on the year, it will all average out except for that incremental revenue from the $4 billion.
I've been watching what we're worried about, which is the spike in some states. And I was thinking, I got to ask Michael what he would say. I saw you had a mask on before. We all wear masks. We all practice social distancing. Somehow it went from being something that maybe everyone thought is how you got Taiwan, which is 7 deaths and almost no cases, to being something that we don't need anymore because things are better again. Is there any reason to think that things are better again?
No. That's the most frustrating thing for me. I'm working with some pretty good epidemiologists. I had an individual tell me, and just when you talk about Taiwan, Japan, 127 million lives. The Oriental markets have always had a mask mentality. They've had 832 deaths during the time that we had 100,000. Hong Kong, as you know, very concentrated population, 7 million people. They had four deaths in that same time. This mask is the answer until we have a vaccine.
Amen.
And there's no doubt about it. You can't come in our building without one. And if I walk down the hall without one, I'm going to have to fire myself.
Oh, I think that's absolutely right. Now, there are things that are happening that I need your advice on, that we all need your advice on, because you thought about it very hard before. There was a murder committed in Minneapolis, and it was One of the worst things that any of us have ever had to witness.
Yes.
You had something happen in Ferguson. You could have had,
Yes.
and I know you did a day of discussion, but you do more than that. You built something in Ferguson. What is it like
Yes.
to talk versus do?
Well, I'm very proud that in a matter, we heard that small businesses would be closing.
Right.
And we said we had to do something about it. This was Labor Day when it happened. That Friday, I said, we're going to announce and we're going to build a service center in Ferguson. That Tuesday, over the weekend we worked, we announced it. And that Friday, we owned the land. We had the effect of those small businesses said, if Centene's coming here, we're reopening. And up until this last time, we saw property values starting to increase. You drive through Ferguson now, people are showing pride and taking care of it. If I could take you to our daycare center we have up there, you see young children learning. It's just incredible. It's I feel successful only when I see other people being successful. And the people in Ferguson are becoming successful.
Can we clone you? Can we clone you? We're not seeing other people do what you do.
No,
We're not seeing other people. We're seeing people sending their hearts. They're sending their prayers. How about sending money and jobs?
Well, one of the things we're doing is the KIPP schools, we're giving a chunk of money, and I'm personally giving a lot to the St. Louis one, but across the country we give it for the K through 6 grades, because we know that one of the things we have to do to correct things is improve the educational system in the inner city.
Right.
We can do that. You can start turning people's lives around. So there's a lot of things we can do. One of the things I'm proud of, and Marcella, who you've met, and some of our other people here, Shannon Bagley, our head of HR, we're putting together these courageous conversations. And that was not a one-off event. They're going ongoing all the time. I'm also proud, Jim, I just happened to ask the question. 52% of our population are of color, of our employee population across the country. So it's something I feel good about, that I think it can be done.
Well, you should, and you also should feel good about all the work you're doing to understand why minority communities have been hurt more by COVID. You're a good man, sir. Thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations on a great Analyst Day and everything you're doing for shareholders.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, that's Michael Neidorff. He's Chairman, President, and CEO of Centene. CNC delivers another great quarter, gives a great outlook, and of course, when I say he cares, I do not mean he mouths. I mean he does. Mad Money's back into the break.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.